Welcome guys, welcome to my YouTube channel guys. So I'm going to show you guys how I actually pass phase 1 and phase 2 of my $10,000 my forex fund account in just in 2 days. It's just because of the minimum trading days that it take me around maybe a week, because I have to wait for the minimum trading days to to be over. Before we start, please subscribe and like the video if you actually do like it. And the reason why I actually purchased this $10,000 account was because I'm doing a challenge just to show traders that you can actually flip $100 into $100,000. So that's the reason why I purchased this $10,000 account. But for me, every single month I usually purchase $200,000. It doesn't matter if I pass the account in a week, 2 weeks. I have to wait another month to purchase $200,000 because that's my plan. But anyway, let's jump into this, right? So this is phase 1 of the account. As you guys can see, the account is passed. Profit targets, I actually did make 8%. Most traded instrument year started. I do trade other currency pair like GBP, JPY, and gold. Win rate, I think is because 35% note. My win rate is around 80%, 70 to 80%. I think it's because of the 0.1, 0.1. So these are all the trades I actually take. Let me just go down. So my first trade was GBP JPY, and it was a loss. I was risking 1% a trade. I take another GBP JPY, it was a loss. I take a gold trade, a loss, and I take a US study trade, a loss. So this is just to show you guys that you have to manage your emotion, right? Because sometimes I do day trade and I do scalp. So most of these 2 trades I take, gold and GPJPY, and just in the same day it was a loss. I was like, what? Why this have to happen, right? So let me show you guys the trade. I actually sent out this trade on my VIP. So this was the trade, US study GPJPY, and this was last week, and I lost those trades, right? But I take another trade on US study, and it was 1 to 8, 1 to 8, and I win this trade. And I take another trade that actually passed the account, which was 1 to 5, and I finally passed the account. All right. So on phase 2, let's jump into phase 2. So this is phase 2. I actually passed phase 2 in just in 1 day. I actually received this account yesterday, and I passed it same day, just the same. As soon as I received the account, it doesn't even take like an hour. I see a trade. I think the first trade I took was a gold trade, right? I enter a gold trade. It was a loss. I'm like, cool, fine, whatever. And I take another trade, which was a 1 to 10 trade on US study, and I actually did send this trade out on my VIP. As you guys can see, this trade was 1 to 10, and yeah, and I passed the account. As you guys can see, account was passed, $10,000, $724 passed. I was supposed to make 5%, but I did make 7%. Most traded instrument US study. Win rate 37%. I would say my win rate is 70 or 80%. And US started passed this trade for me. As you guys can see, I was aiming for 1 to 10 on this trade. It was a day trading, and I was aiming for 1 to 10. I actually passed this trade. Market, I was gonna hold this trade till TP10, but I decided just to close the trade around 7%. So I'm gonna show you guys my strategy really soon. So let's jump into that. So on US study, I like to follow trend, but sometimes if I'm going against the trend, I need at least, I would say, 3 to 5 confirmation before I enter the trade if I'm going against the trend, right? So let me show you guys my strategy real quick. So there's a support level right there. There's a trend line right there. Usually what I do is I start from the daily. That's all what I always do. Start from the daily, draw like your support level. Just draw your lines, every line you're seeing, just draw everything, right? I don't want this video to take a really long time. That's why but just draw all your lines, every single line you see on the daily, 4 hours. Just make it look really organized, all right? And jump to the 4 hours and draw whatever you gotta draw. right? So my first confirmation was that this was a strong support level around there. So it's basically something like this. I just put it like that. The reason why I put it like that was because there was a trend line, this trend line, and I do believe that market was going to touch this trend line before going up. So that's why I just drew on my support level like that. But my first confirmation was something like this. My second confirmation was this. And my other confirmation was because of the way market was moving, which was this way, right? Which is a double bottom, right? That gives me another confirmation that market is going to go up, right? So my style of trading is very simple. I do trade everything. I trade break of a trend line, break and retest. I trade everything basically, but I'm very specific on my trade. I'm very specific. All right. I do not use indicator. I don't like to use indicator. I would say sometimes I will use indicator. So I do not use indicator. I don't feel like you need to use indicator because all this indicator are actually created from like the actual chart. Like people look at the chart and they made indicator. So why would you try to use indicator? Just try to master naked charts, and it's very simple. Trust me. So what I usually do is I jump to probably 4 hours and just mark my support and resistance real quick. I do not believe that this is a really strong level. No, I do believe that this is currently a strong level. Reason why I do not believe that this is a strong level because of the pattern, like double bottom. I do believe that market is just gonna break this level and just keep going up. So the next thing I will do is jump into the 1 hour, jump into the 30 minutes, jump into the 5 minutes, and usually jump into the 1 minute, right? So right now I'm not seeing nothing to enter. Usually I look for a pattern or a break of a trend line, whatever, anything, right? That will convince me that markets, anything that will convince, anything that's a good entry, I will enter, right? So let's just play this out and let's wait for something. All right, so it looks like market is respecting this level, right? Market is respecting that level. So now all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wait for market to break this, right? Because it looks like it's just consolidating, right? So market, it looks like it just moving up and down, up and down. So I'm just gonna wait for market to break. I do not want to just enter like right there because market just did a double bottom. No, I'm just gonna wait because, and that's another thing, you always have to read market to yourself before you enter trade. Look at the chart and read it to yourself. It doesn't mean that you're crazy. Just read it to yourself, like, okay, fine, what market is doing? Market is doing this and that. I'm gonna wait for market to do that. No, something like that. So let's just play that out and just wait for market to break. So as you see, market just break. All I would do is I'll probably enter a buy, put my stop loss sometimes right there. This is what I would advise most traders to do. Put your stop loss like that, and usually I'll aim for like 1 to 10, 1 to 12, or 1 to 15. So as you guys can see, usually I aim for like 1 to 10, 1 to 15, or like sometimes I aim for 1 to 15, right? So let's just jump into the I'll say jump into the 30 minutes and let's play this. So, and if you're new to the market, if you're new to like trading US30, if you don't want to get kicked out most of the time, I also put your stop loss like this. Because US30 is a currency pair that will do a fake out and act like it's going in your direction and come down. Like because US30 is a currency pair that will act like it will come down, right? Then go up. It does that. It will like, there will be like something, let's say this is a good resistance level, right? A really strong resistance level. Like everybody's waiting for a buy. You know what US30 is going to do? It's going to act like it's going up. Everybody enter. Then they come for your stop. Let's say your stop loss is right. Take you out and go up. That's what US30 will do. So if you're new trading US30, just trade it like this, give it space. I've been trading it for a while. That's why I would trade it like this, right? Yeah. Ooh, smoke. So if I should have aimed for more, I should have probably get like 1 to 13. So that's my strategy. It's very, very simple. Yeah. And if you're trying to pass your channel, pass your verification, join the VIP. We're killing it. But anyway, please subscribe, punch your likes button. Peace out.